Welcome to American Blacksmith, and this is our shop tour part 2 at MacDonald Blacksmith Shop in Los Lunas, New Mexico. We took down the old structure that we had here, and we tore down the old horse barns out back that were made from railroad trestle beams from the original 1800 Santa Fe Railroad, just about 10 miles from here. So we want to keep the same integrity as the rest of the building. So we put up this material temporarily, and we plan on building 2 more overhangs here so that we can leave this all open for that ventilation thing that we keep talking about. Because we've got a 6-burner forge over here, and when we get this going, there's a lot of potential carbon monoxide coming out of it. Okay, we're in the heavy forging area, and we're going to start at one of the working benches here. This bench vise I started working on when I was 10 years old at the family business. I had a part-time job fabricating and threading pipe. We had a big beaver threading machine right here. Okay, here's a rack of our heavier forging tongs. We use these in different positions to remove the hot metal from the forges. This rack is an old handmade forge rack from an old blacksmith shop. Right here we have a 350-pound swage block that we use in the heavy area. We can put our cones and different swages on this thing. We had to build a stand so we could turn it up on end and slide it in this slot so we can use all these other impressions. We have a 7-inch Indian Chief post vise here, made in 1902. Got a big, thick plate holding this down. This is a 500-pound Chambersburg steam hammer that was built for the United States Navy during World War II. The war ended, and so it was never put on a salvage vessel. And I was able to locate it and have it shipped here. It's 10 feet tall, the base weighs over 10,000 pounds, and we have several yards of concrete underneath here and a row of railroad ties, and I've got it raised up to my height. This is one of the bottom dies that we use on the 500-pound hammer, and we can drop forge with this size hammer. This piece of bronze, belt buckle. So this is a piece of cap rail for a railing section, handrails. It's a very wide cross section. And we need to forge all this on a big hammer like this because this material, even if you can get it available, you still have to heat it and texture the material. This is the bottom die that we use on top of this bottom die of the hammer, and that's to forge the oval. So we'll put a large piece of round stock, and this is a built-in stop, so we'll get the same cross section as we're forging this hot. Okay, this is our 6-burner natural gas forge. We can get heats just over 3 foot long, and we can remove and change these bricks around about any way we want. Right here we have a portable Buffalo U.S. Cavalry forge. So the Army had these built back in the day, and This one must have been one of the newest ones because it has an electric motor opposed to a hand crank. And this thing is really ingenious. So this is an entirely portable unit. These legs come off and set inside of here. This water tank sets inside the little coal box. And then this lid fastens down. The only thing that was missing, because this forge has never been used, but there was an undercarriage of some sort to protect the motor and the fan and stuff. And we're going to use, instead, we're going to use this stand that I had for my portable anvil, and that'll bolt or clamp underneath here. And then we have our small anvil and various tools that will fit into these boxes here. So everything will be portable, and we're turning this into a barbecue / forging unit. So we'll only use handmade charcoal. These two Johnson gas furnaces are going to be moved outside in the carport. And then this industrial blast cabinet is going to go outside also. Because we may put a 100-pound power hammer in this position. These are two items that I purchased from the Anvil King. That's my friend Fred Moore in Mountain Air, New Mexico, 50 miles from here. And when I went to pick out a comb, I had a choice between, I believe, 15 at that time, and now there's another 20 there. This is a fly press here. This one was made in Birmingham, England, and I'm built a heavy stand for it. And we're working on all the tooling, and it's become real handy, and we don't have to use our 55-ton hydraulic press. We can just use this one. This is our portable unit. We call it the Swiss Army trailer. We take this on to job sites. Farriers, horseshoers are familiar with these types of setups. And we had a farrier build one for us in 1994, and it paid for itself on the first job we used it, which was downtown Detroit at the museum. This is our portable anvil that has an aluminum base. So not only is it lightweight, but it doesn't ring. And here's our Miller Welder generator that we've had for 26 years. Here's another view of the Miller Welder generator. Here's a small portable post vise, and then another one of our spring-loaded foot vices that we use on site. It all folds up very quickly and placed into the trailer. Propane portable forge. It swings out for us here. We just relined the entire forge. This one is an atmospheric forge, which means it doesn't have to have a motor running all the time. And this thing gets so hot that you can forge weld in it on site. This is our Milwaukee magnetic drill press, variable speed. This is one of the greatest tools you can have in the shop because drilling can be one of the most dangerous jobs. So if you can get a variable speed drill, go for it. This one slides right out, so we can either use it on the ground, but then the shavings all go down here instead of into our engine. We have two sets of oxyacetylene torches here. One's a portable setup that we can actually take into the client's home. We have a fireproof blanket that we use along with all this. And all of these boxes open up and are full of tools. All right, we have our hose reel for our oxyacetylene here, keep our hoses off the ground. We have our toolboxes. Some of these are deep well boxes that we put all of our portable bandsaws. a hardware section in here. So when you're up, especially working downtown someplace, or up at 10,000 feet, that you don't have to be running back to the hardware store. You run into all kinds of unexpected things on these job sites. Thanks for watching our shop tour part 2. Our next video is going to be forging the wine rack, and we'll see you then.